Hello guys, and welcome to another GA flying video. Today we will be taking a look at the new 737-800 from PMDG, the 2024 native version. In this case, this will be the BBJ2, so the Boeing Business Jet 2 version, I guess, of the plane, so a little bit more fitting when we take into consideration what the name of the channel is. We are in East Midlands and we will be flying to Edinburgh in Scotland. I did take some very short flights yesterday, and before that I wasn't flying the plane for pretty long because I changed to 2024 as quickly as possible pretty much. So I almost forgot how to fly this plane. That saying, this new version of the plane has a very good manual, an online manual, so let's maybe start with this one. Let me just show you how to find it. Okay, so the manual that you will find in the document folder after installing the plane is outdated. What you need is pretty much this web page manual's PMDG here, and here you have like a great online manual, also with a test flight if you want to take it. And among others, you also have some information about what is new, about the new version, right? So maybe let's take a quick look. So pretty much all of the cabins are new. So we are talking about all of the versions that you are getting with the plane. So the cargo version, the 2 passenger versions, and the 1 business version that we are using now. Okay. The cockpit is also mostly new, a lot of new objects there, a lot of new like active objects that you can use that were not active before. And we will also talk about this one. From what I could see yesterday, I can confirm what they are saying here is that the performance is really good. The flight model is also updated. They have also updated like the gear struts, wings, some parts of the engines, but not like a full redesign of the exterior model. Okay, so a lot of systems were refined. I can see it because I can see some more delays, right? So before, when you were switching like a switch or pressing a button, often stuff was happening like immediately. But now it's more realistic and more annoying, I guess, because sometimes you just have to wait. Okay, the whole sound model was pretty much redesigned, and licensed. It's licensed, but it's like nothing special. That I had many like licensed planes that were like much worse than the unlicensed ones, but still, okay, fine. So let's take a look. There is also like a lot of details in the EFB that are new, and we'll also take a look at these. When it comes to the ground handling, I do have GSX, but I won't be using it now, because from what I could see, the plane has all of the functions integrated, plus a simulation of the whole turnaround that you can do with all of the vehicles. So I would like to see how it looks like when it's made by PMDG only. Okay, and with this, we can just get in. Let's take a look here. So we do have ground power. In the beginning, when you install it, it will be on. Everything will be on. This is because like the standard state is not cold and dark. So you will have to change if you want to start in cold and dark, you will have to change it in the FMC. Okay. So let me just turn it on. Okay. Oh, here. On. Okay. You can listen to those new sounds. And actually, before that, I was looking at some videos made by, what is it called now? A330 pilot, I guess. But actually, like the checklists that are provided by PMDG seem to be a little bit different. So I guess I will just kind of use a mix of both of those. Okay, so let us align the IRSs. Here, yaw damper. Okay. So here normally I was taught to only use one of those for the APU, but in the manual they say to turn all of them on. So, okay, I guess. Maybe before we do it, because I wanted to show you the stuff here. Okay, so here you have the setup and you have like the standard startup state. So remember to change it if you want it to be golden dark, right? We can also set the EFB up before we set the plane up. So weight and balance. I do have it prepared in SimBrief, right? Okay, so here and here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, nice effect. Pretty straight. Okay, nice. Let's take a look at the weather. This is fine because we start from 270. Okay, so the wind is fine. Okay, so now we can go to weight and balance. And let's load it. There is actually in SimBrief, there is already like a ready profile for all of those new versions of the plane. So as we are using BBJ, right? So there's also like a version for BBJ there, already provided by PMDG, which is great. The only problem is that there are two versions of the BBJ there. One is with 0 auxiliary tanks and one is with 7. And I'm not sure which one I'm having here. I do have the panel for auxiliary tanks, right? But I'm not sure if this is like the version that I have here. So let me just check if I can find it here. Equipment. There's always lots and lots and lots of stuff. If we don't find it, then it's also not a problem, just so you know, right? That you have those many versions here. Here. Aft tanks, forward tanks, so 5. Let's see. Okay, auxiliary tanks. So it's pretty much free, which is strange. So this is also what I have seen yesterday. Let me just show you. Here. But according to this one, it's free center tanks. But when it comes, as I said, to the profiles on SimBrief, it's either 0 or 7. So I'm not sure. And this is also sadly not in the manuals. I will probably have to ask around. Okay. Okay. Either way, let's come back here. So we do have it here. So we can proceed with setting up the plane then. Actually, I might use this version that I talked about with the ground operations. So let me just check it, because I saw it in the manual. Ground service vehicles, ground maintenance. Interesting, because in the manual there was also like a 5th function here that was like automatic turnaround. Something like this. Let me just see. No. Okay, so let's just check the manual. Here, universal tablet. Okay. Here, ground operations. Here, automated ground operations. Oh, okay, so it's not added to this one. That's really sad. At least you can take a look at the picture. Let me just show you. Maybe it's a thing for the like proper passenger variant, right? So you can see all of it is like simulated, all of the processes that are being done on the plane. So maybe I will do like a second flight and I will check it out. And if it's fun, then I will show it to you. As you can see, sadly, at least for the business version, it's like not a thing. Okay, set panda. So let us just proceed. Okay, I think like the pilot was already setting it to nav in the beginning, and this is also how I was doing it always. But according to the manual, it's first set to align and then to nav. And I guess we can just set it to nav. Okay. Let me just make sure that the weight and balance is already... that the weight and balance is already working. So here. Okay, it's already loaded. Because there is also like precise loading, where you can add all of those details, right? Okay. So let's get back here. I actually have two views, because it's like too large for one view. Have all of the pumps. Okay. So like that, scanning it is like this one, right? From top to bottom. So let's take the yaw damper. We do have the power here. This is for the APU. Okay, emergency lights. Good. Probes after engine start, from what I remember. The pump, the hydraulic pumps are coming on now. Okay. Here we can set up our cruising altitude. Let me just take a look here. So this will be 24,000 feet. Okay. Okay, nice. And let's take a look at the destination airport. How high is it? Do I have it here? Yeah, elevation 100 feet. Okay. So just to show you, I'm just using the standard interface for the charts from Navigraph. Okay. Either way, we should also have it here. So this is like a pretty demanding airport here that I have used, just to check out how performance friendly this new version is. Okay. Okay, so electronic flight back here. Okay, departure. Okay, it's already set up. Nice, nice, nice. So we have also the charts here if we want to use them. Here you also have the options. With all of the options, here you can install the nav data from Navigraph if you have it. In the beginning, I think it was not installed because I didn't have all of this information here. So make sure that you install it before using it. Okay. So let's go back up. So let's assume that we slowly have the passengers on board, because we are not doing the simulated loading, because it's not a thing for the BBJ, apparently. Okay. And let's prepare for APU start. We can use the logo light. Yeah. And we can slowly start. Okay. Okay. So slight lag here, but like when I was doing the same with the Phoenix, with this cloudy weather and this like complex airport, I had like more stutter than in this one. Okay, and we can slowly go over to the FMC then. Let me just grab this one, previous page, and here. Okay. So let's go to route. We can request a flight plan. This is our flight plan from SimBrief. Okay. This seems fine. I'm not sure about the set payload and set fuel. I was doing it yesterday and I think it's needed, but I'm kind of still lost about what is being imported like from SimBrief and what needs clicking. Yeah, here you can see it's imported from SimBrief, right? Okay, so we have to click both of those. Okay, and we do select the route. Okay, and now it's being requested, which means that we have to wait. Okay, in the meantime, let's take a look around. We can get rid of the stairs. Yeah, it's interesting that I have planes here. I was thinking I have them like off. Maybe I remember it incorrectly. Okay, so during the flight, I will also show you like the passenger cabin, which is like very special in this version of the plane. Okay, so the route is loaded. I mean, it's requested, right? So now we are loading it. And it's like clicking, waiting, clicking, waiting, clicking, waiting, which is very realistic, but at the same time I'm missing my GA planes where it's just less waiting. Okay. And activate. Okay. And execute. Okay, as you can see, a lot of clicking and waiting, right? Okay, so let's then proceed. So let's do the departure. So I can show you a new feature. You can move the tablet by pressing this click spot here. And let me just take a look. So those are the charts. This is this one. Oh, this is what I wanted. So pretty much my flight plan. And I need this one. Okay. So the trend to November departure. Okay. Runway 27. Okay. Execute. Back to index. Arrival. In PEEP 1 echo. Just this one. And ILS 24. Okay. Do we need the transition here? Let's take a look. I know the Phoenix is doing very strange stuff if you add the addition here, like on this specific airport. But this is like a general problem, I think a real life problem with Edinburgh, that this approach is always very strange. But either way, TLA. So, is there like a way to scroll it? Okay, so no, it doesn't seem like we need this one, so no transition here. Okay, let's take a look at the legs. Okay, I was flying Airbus for so long that I barely remember how the FMC works here, but we should be fine. Okay, so now we want it back here, and we have to click here to have it back here. Yeah, I do remember some stuff, just not all of it. So we start with runway 27. Okay. Why don't we have the CG? I think this is also something that we will have to set up. So performance, yeah, here. And here we can request it. Once again, we are waiting for it if it's gray. Okay, it's no longer gray. Now load. Now execute. Okay. Okay, and now it should be fine. Yup, now we have it. Very nice. And let's import the weather. Okay, no, not bad. I do remember something. Okay, so let's now calculate it. Okay, the threshold, very nice. And now we have the data, so we can move it back here. Nice. Okay. So once again, N1 limit. So do they want us to derate? Yes. Takeoff. Yeah. -2. Do we get the temperature? 60. So here. Okay. Okay, so let's proceed now. So this seems to be all. Let's see if there's no second page. No. Okay. So now takeoff calculations, it's probably flaps 5. Yep. Here we can just click on this one and it will provide it. So we can click again. Here this confirms that we have done it correctly. If they appear, if they don't appear, the proposed V-speeds, then it means you have missed like one of the steps. And let's confirm them. They seem to be fine. Okay, looks promising. So now we do have the APU. Oops, sorry guys, still fighting the views. Okay. So now we have the APU generator, so we can get rid of the ground power, and we can order it to be disconnected. Okay, so here, Ground operation. Ground connections. Yes. Release, please. Okay. And we don't need the stairs. Okay, let me just take a look around. Okay, so GPU is off. This should be driving away. Yeah, okay, so even if you don't have GSX, there is some of the stuff. But I remember when I was using it in 2020, I was also mostly using this PMDG ground handling, and it was working fine. We will see if the pushback is working, because like in one place of the manual, I think I remember that they said that it's temporarily not working, but maybe it's like an old passage in the manual, so we will see. Okay. So what else do we need? It would be nice to set up stuff here. Okay, so it's standard in TARA, but just let's move it to auto. Okay, it seems like the radios are on. Do I need to click it? Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah, it's all coming back. Okay, so we are flying without ATC, so we can just use this one. I don't like it. I was using it yesterday and it doesn't really have acceleration, right? So I'm scrolling, but it's always the same speed. So I pretty much have to like click it, right, and hold it. I would assume with the new control method, it's maybe faster. Maybe if I like press shift, is it faster? No. So I'm not a fan of this one. I think this can be improved. Okay. Let me just double check if I'm not wrong that it was supposed to be 26. So flight back, this one. I need a better and more precise mouse for this one, I guess. I need the summary that is normally at the top. Is it not here in this version? I'm just... oh, here. You just need to adjust to this view. And maximum... Really? There is no cruise altitude here, so I might be misremembering it. Distance, release, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't see it. So I guess it's my fault, because I'm normally just looking at SimBrief here. So it's 24,000, so we have it correctly. So the Barrow reference, I think, is also fine. I just see here. Yeah, this is fine. So this is fine, this is fine. You can tune in V2 here. Okay, so V2 is 133. Those are speeds for the BBJ version, right? That like is less loaded most of the time. At least if it's not like starting one of those like very long flights, because it can fly up to 6,000 nautical miles, I think, depending like on the loadout. So you can totally fly from the United States to Europe here. Okay, and with this, I think we are kind of ready. Let me just prepare everything. So we do want APU bleed. This stays in open and moves to auto after we turn on the engines, from what I remember. Okay, we do want the APU. This way we have dual bleed, so I don't think it's needed. Okay, and I think as we are on APU and we have disconnected all, we can get rid of the chocks. Okay. We can just turn on the brake. This one you cannot fully hide, I think, but you can just like retract it like this one. When it comes to hidden click spots, this is go around mode, right? And this is centering the heading back, if I remember correct. Again, let's see if we can get a pushback here. So ground connections, ground power type, not here. Cargo, okay, not here. I think like before it was in the FMC, which I always felt was like really strange, but let's see. Yeah, pushback. Okay. So straight out. Okay, unit speed. It was kind of working fine from what I remember before when I was using. Okay. So let's do straight out. Okay. Shock set, select attack. Yeah, why not? Let me just take a look. Do we have like attack model? Is it coming? Is it not coming? Okay, so let's see. And let's just start. And in the meantime, I can prepare, so backs off, this on open, I think those are off, and IPU bleed is on. Okay. So will there be like a model that will come or not? Okay, not yet, so let's try. Look, like this. Stone. Yeah, I think this is correct. This is how it was working. I'm just wondering about those. Let me just see. I was afraid I have like the doors open, okay? Okay. No, so I think it's fine. So will I get the attack, or is it like very realistic and I have to wait 10 minutes? Yeah, sadly, doesn't seem to work. Okay, so let's just stop it. Since I understand this is just setting chokes. Yeah. Okay, so let's try again. So there's only one that you can select. What is comms? Nothing. Yeah, so I saw opinions like this one that it's supposed to not be working, right? Sadly. And I think it might have been mentioned in one of the manuals. Okay, so I guess we can just use GSX then. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, normally when I was using GSX, I was using like the whole service suite of it. So I guess this is how you just get the pushback then.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Hello. Okay. Fine. No. Do you want me to turn on the light?
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Is it? Oh, okay, it is. I was thinking it will be this person.
Locking gear.
We can take a look at our flight plan in the meantime. Looks fine. Okay, so what do I want? Here, I want nose left, right? Nose left, so to the right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Yep.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay. And maybe the other side. Yep. And we are waiting till 25. If I remember correctly. Look. Okay, and we can take a look outside. I don't have like DLSS on or something, so this is the normal view. And I think the animation is okay. And also take a look like the inside view on the engine. Okay. Seems to be stabilized, so we can turn on the other one. Oh, GSX is working nicely, but those are also those like great airports. I think this is also from like Pyreegue or whatever they are called, like the company that everybody loves, right? That they are doing the best airports pretty much. Okay, too much talking. Is it already 25? Yes, it is. Yeah, so something that I love about those PMDG planes is that the configuration of the inside is always different, right? So everything here, when I was flying the other BBJ with the other livery yesterday, I had like a different radio here inside, right? So like every airline pretty much, right, will be different inside, which is just great and very interesting. Okay. Yep.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Okay, so let's go up. So let's get the engine generators here. I'm not sure if I have fuel here, so let's just see. No, so none of those tanks are being used. Okay, so yaw damper is already on. All of the pumps are on. We are waiting with the lights. I think there's like a galley switch somewhere, like for the electricity, so we will just take a look in a second. I'm kind of blind when it comes to this stuff. Okay, equipment cooling. Okay.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay. Okay, so what do we want here? So we can have the bleed from the engines. We don't need the bleed from the APU. This one goes to auto. And for now, we can turn on the packs. From what I was seeing, they were recommending to turn them off for like engine start, but as far as I know, there are like different procedures here. Okay, so we can turn on the taxi light. This is fine. Let's make sure we are on the generators so we don't lose electricity. And now we can turn off the APU. Whoa. Yeah, sadly, I think it's just like my computer in this airport because when I was checking East Midlands, also like with other planes, it was very similar. But we will see. Okay. Let me just do a quick check. We can also use this one. This checklist is pretty alright. From what I could see, generators on, prop heat on, isolation valve on auto, we have it. Okay, auto brake on RTO. Okay. Flight controls check, ground equipment clear, generators on, prop on, back switches auto. Okay. Takeoff flaps. So let's do takeoff flaps. It should be flaps 5. Okay. Then we also need this setting here for the trim. Let me just see what it was supposed to be. Just 483. Okay. Oh, so it's... was it correctly set up? Normally it's not doing it. Okay, but it was. Strange. Maybe it should be more here. Okay. Okay, so it seems like we have all of the V speeds. We have it on 5. We can check if we don't get any warning here. So let me just... No warning. So we have the correct configuration here, right? So we can start taxiing here. So from what I could see, PMDG is recommending a lot of dead zone when it comes to the ground steering, like to the rudder steering on the ground. I haven't changed it, and it was like a little bit twitchy for me. Are we moving? Yeah. So let's set this back to map. Let me just check it. Strange. Okay, let me just stop the brakes. Is it possible that I did something incorrectly? I don't think so. And so no chocks. Maybe... Oh, yeah, because... Okay, let me try. Yeah, now it's better. So we still had this, like, virtual tech attached, it seems. Yes, I really hope they will, like... they will fix this one. Because I did like this, like, simplified pushback. I don't really need like the whole of GSX most of the time when I'm flying. I can also show you they also have this like new generation map here, so let's make it full screen. Let's just zoom in. Yep, with all of the taxiways. Okay, let me just see if we are recording, because I was like reinstalling some of the stuff. Yeah, so the taxiing is a little bit twitchy, but it's like hard for me to say if it's really the fault of the plane, because like in the last weeks I did have like some problems with the twitchiness of my rudder pedals, so it might be this one and not the fault of the plane. Either way, I think it's worth checking out what they are recommending, just setting like the sensitivity of the rudder controls to -80%, I guess, was what they were recommending in this manual. Here you can also, this guy you need to set up if you are like, as you are in 2024, you also need to set up in the options like a co-pilot model, because it will not be automatically displayed. And you do have like a pretty good selection of them. I don't think that those will be like a model that would be worn by somebody in a 737, but like you can also change it. And one nice thing that I can show you already, noise cancelling phones. You will play around with all of the stuff inside like in a moment. Okay, I guess I can accelerate a little bit. Show you the outside view. Yeah, this airport is really beautiful. But I also really need to work like on my graphic settings, because it's still like a lot of stuff is pretty high up, which is not needed. And this is also because this is also why I'm using, while I'm losing some FPS. Okay, so ground speed here, still okay. And I'm also recording the flight to do some nice replays. I just hope that it won't back out with this one, because like with many complicated airliners, the applications that are being used like for recording the replays have some problems, right? They are not recognizing the gear and stuff. So for example, when I was recording the 146 from Just Flight, I had to pretty much manually trigger both the gear and like the air brakes, right? Because they were not recorded the moment it was done, like in the real flight. So I had to pretty much simulate it. Okay. So last items here. Just boom. I wonder. No, I was hoping there was something here. Okay. So let's take a look in flight here before takeoff. Flaps. Okay, flaps are set up. Stabilizer trim. This is fine, as it's supposed to be. Last items here. Yeah, nothing. I'm just wondering that there are no like landing lights here. So either way, the checklist that you are getting in those like documents online is like much more comprehensive, right? With all of the steps needed. So for this one, I want the, come on. Yeah, I want the landing lights. This is fine, this is fine. No rain here, so it can stay here. Strobe and steady. Okay, so this uses the strobe. Okay, let's do a check. So we don't want the pecs. Okay. We'll just turn them on after takeoff. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine. It's fine. Yeah, this is what happens if you fly too many planes. It's like really difficult to remember exactly what was where. But this seems to be fine. So what we will be doing is we will be well, holding on the runway, right? Then we will move up to 40%, and then we will click the takeoff button. And let's hope this will work. Okay, so let me just see the sit here. So we'll be using this one, and this should follow our flight. Okay. I'm just wondering, tick us off. Right, so now I think it should be on already, so let's see. It's hard to see here. Okay, so now it's in TA array. Okay. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, nice. So let's check once again. The config warning, no config warning. That's fine. It's getting cloudy. I mean, it's the UK. I'm really surprised that the weather is as good as we have it here. So I was expecting overcast all of the time, pretty much. Yeah, I'm always following the yellow line. I always have a problem of doing those like nice turns that the professional pilots do. Okay. So, okay, we can do LNAV. So, in order for LNAV to work, I think the first waypoint needs to be within 5 degrees of our current heading. Okay. So I centered the heading back. This doesn't change anything, right? It's still no. Let me just move the plane a little bit. And like the real pilot was also discussing it, that it's also the same thing in the real plane, that it's often not working. But here I forgot to use flight directors, so maybe this is why it's not working. Okay, auto thrust, and let's see now. Okay, now it's working. So it's just about the flight director, which is sad because they are also, I think, not in the checklist. Maybe they are in like one of the prior steps. Okay, I don't see them here. Either way, now it's fine. Okay, so 40%. We are already at 40%. Okay. Seems stable. Here we have the settings, the derated settings that we have used. And now we can just go to Toga. Okay, Toga thrust. Small pressure on the stick. Gear up. This seems to be pretty high. Let's maybe change VNAV advisory. It should go down. Autopilot. Okay, nice and steady. Okay, we do have enough speed, we have N1. Now we will accelerate it. Okay. And in a second we will also work on the packs. I'm not sure how loud it is for you, it should be fine. Okay, flaps up. And now we can also get the box. Okay, it's on auto. It is on. Nice. Oh, the scroll wheel is no longer working on this one. I was thinking it was possible, but maybe I'm mixing it up with the 727. Okay, so I would assume it's pretty cold. Let me just see. Where can I see the temperature? Here, 9 degrees. Okay, so below 10 degrees is kind of the icing range from what I remember from the videos in this one. So we can use anti-ice for the engines. Okay, and when it comes to the sit, it's like keeping you at 6,000 for a pretty long time. So let me just see if I remember how to do it in the Boeing plane, how to get rid of those restrictions. I'm wondering what happens if I do it like this. Oh, maybe. I'm a little bit afraid to... Yeah, okay, so I remember it correctly. It's delete, and then you click on the restriction. Such a strange system, like after flying an Airbus where you can just like click for it to be removed, this is really strange. Okay, now it works. Okay, standard pressure. Now we can take a look here. After takeoff, engine bleeds on. Okay, PEX on auto, landing gear up and in the middle position. Okay, flaps up, no lights. Okay. Okay, and I think this should also go to off. Yeah, I do think they could like work a little bit on this checklist, because there really isn't that much here, right? Was there like no... Yeah, we have a checklist here. But it's pretty much the same, right? Only the basic points. Okay, it's flying. That's nice. Okay, we can release the passengers. Although it's an auto, let's just put it off. Okay, let's see if we are pressurizing. So we did everything correctly. Are we out of the clouds? Not yet, I would say. Still a cloud layer here. And this seems very slow, especially since we are like the BBJ version, right? Okay, now we are picking up, so that's nice. Maybe it won't... I just wanted to reach this target speed. Okay, now it's going up, so all is fine. So now finally I can show you all of the cool stuff that is here. So let's just say that we just entered the cockpit right from the outside. So here we can hang our code, okay, so for role-playing stuff. Here we can put our bag, and even like a second bag if you want to. Oh, I didn't know you can click this one, so... Oh, they will fall out. I think I do remember it. There was like an animation here. Oh yeah, you just... Yeah, I saw it on a video, I do remember. But you at least get cookies for it, okay? Obviously, like the emergency gear extension works. Here you need to make sure 3 are here, so this all works. I think we can go outside. I will show you stuff. Now we have an animated door. So there is a lot of stuff that is working here now that wasn't working before. Play around with it. Does this work? I haven't tried it. No. So this one you cannot do. Can you click here? No, no. Okay. So it's mostly this stuff. And here on the other side, you can brew yourself a coffee. It's similar like in Just Flight planes. Okay. So if you're like a clicker and just like to click on a lot of stuff, ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm afraid that if I like block it, I won't be able to go back to the cockpit. So let's maybe not do it. Let me just click this one. Can I? Not sure if you could hear it because it was like very, very low volume. But somebody said that it's occupied, right? So I haven't seen this one yet in the plane. Nice, nice. Okay, so you can change. Okay, coming soon. But when it comes to the lights, you can just play around with them. Let me just see. Night sleep. Okay, I think you first have to select the setting that you want, and then you need to click on the zone where you want to change it to. Yeah, this is how it was like explained in the manual, that it's always like a two-step process. Okay, here this one actually also works, and you can retract and extend like the stairs with this one. Yeah, but this is really cool. Oh, cool, they have different like lines. Okay, I did it the second time and like the voice was different from inside. Okay, pretty cool. I don't think this one does anything. So as I said, there are like many versions. In the passenger versions, you can also like open the overhead bins and stuff. When it comes to the business version that we have here, it's actually the one that is the simplest, sadly. But to be honest, I also think it's like the least popular among people. But still, I think it's interesting, especially since it has this like super long range, right? So you can pretty much use it like as a global plane. And when it comes to this specific plane, let me just go outside. I hope it won't be too loud. It is a little bit. Okay. So it's like an American company, right, that is running it. But I have seen it like on Flight Radar and stuff, also like being flown in Europe, just because they probably fly it like all around the world. And like fun fact is that Poland is actually one of the few countries that like use the BBJ2. In this case, like the Ministry of Defense is transporting the heads of the state with it. So pretty high profile. Okay, either way, first conference room, right here. This is nothing special, but at least you can go inside. Okay. Let me now go here. So second conference room. Yeah, I really like the model of the wings. They have done some like small corrections, but I think they really look great now. When I was flying yesterday, there was like some turbulence, and even here, when there is slight turbulence, this looks really authentic, right? Looks exactly like I remember it when I was flying with the 737 to Iceland. Like I think 1 month ago or 2 months ago, and there was like a lot of turbulence and wind, so very nicely done here. And I also like generally the how the wing in the Boeing planes looks like. I think the Airbus wings are kind of meh, but obviously it's like a very personal opinion. Okay. So this one you can also open, okay, so small toilet here, and this one I think you can't. I mean, it's not a toilet simulator, okay? So here we have all of the great assistants of those like politicians, right, or like corporate heads. And here, like for second class passengers, so maybe for the press, right? Occupied. Oh. Okay, so this is actually like a female voice, and this one's a male one. Okay, so this is really something that I haven't seen before. So they managed to actually surprise me. Okay, so here I think nothing is active. Yep, nothing. Can I use this one? No, maybe it's better that I can't. Okay, and this works, right? So nice. Ground service, do I want to click here? I don't know, this looks strange. Yeah, let's not click it. Or maybe. Nothing happens. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Another small surprise. Now we can take a look at the views that I have set up. So one we have here. Pretty nice. And the other one. Okay. On this nice wing. Yeah, this looks really good. Okay. And let's do like an outside view, but maybe before we do it, let's go back to the cockpit and check if we are not near the top of climb, because I don't remember how far away it was. Yeah, the top of climb is already here. Okay, and we are even faster. That was calculated. This makes sense because we didn't follow those like height restrictions on the seat, right? Oh no, wait, why are we... Oh, okay, it's just me being stupid, right? Because it was supposed to be 24. Okay, so let's do here, cruise climb, cruise. Yeah, my fault, I know. Let me just see now if I have to like correct it somewhere. Okay, so optimal, this one. So let's see if I can just do it like this. Okay, so let's just change it to this one. We will just pretend we were supposed to be here. And let's just see if this hasn't messed up all of the flight plan. No, we still have a like top of descent. Okay, so this is nice. And too much clicking on stuff, not enough aviating. Typical. Okay, let's take a look outside. So one thing is that like my button for the drone camera doesn't work, but it works if you use this one. And now I can move around with all of the like normal controls. Okay, so we can take a look here. Yeah, so from what I could see, like the cargo version is the coolest one, with like the most unique stuff inside, also that is clickable. But this also looks good. Oh. Okay. Another point with too much talking. Just noticed this one. Obviously, the lights are not needed anymore. Okay. And are we outside of the clouds? No. Are we outside of the ice zone? No. Okay, so this stays on continuous and engine anti-ice stays, right? Okay, all of the rest seems fine, so we can come back to taking a look at the outside of the plane. Okay, I just need my mouse back. It's not Phoenix level of detail. And I think it might be a little bit better. I mean, it could have been a little bit better, but at least it's nicely optimized, right? Yeah, for a moment I was thinking there's no window there. I guess it was just the lighting. And there's some nice detail here. Okay, so let's see how far away the top of descent point is, if I remember how to do it, to top of descent. Oh, that's actually pretty close. Yeah, no timer. 1125. Yeah, 6 minutes. Okay, so let's set up the descent. Okay, so here. Okay. No, forecast. Let's request some winds, and then we can also update the calculations of the plane. Yeah, I really need to like create a nice workflow for this one for me, because this one is not detailed enough, but the one like on the web page is too detailed, right, with all of the tests and stuff. So I need to search for something in between. Okay, and now we can just update the calculations by kind of like putting in the same waypoint again. So this is something that I remember like from old 737 videos. Okay, and let us just take a look here. So we want the arrival. Nice, it's already prepared for us. For a moment I was thinking it did crash. So this is not something that we wanted. Let me see the approach. So and my mouse is not precise enough for this 124. Okay. Okay, so 3000. And once again, there is no acceleration here, right? Which is like, meh. At least when you click it and hold it, it's kind of fast. Okay, so as this is like a Boeing, right, it will just like automatically descend once it reaches the descent point. Okay, so let us just calculate the performance. Okay, so Edinburgh, runway 24. Okay. Okay. No anti-ice. I guess we will use anti-ice. So I'll just here. Let's import the weather and let's calculate it here. Okay. So we have the V speeds here. Let's move it here. Let me just see. Okay, small mistake. Yeah, I just blame A330 pilot, right? Because when I was like always flying Boeings in the past, right? I was always like turning it on as soon as possible, but he said that it's like totally fine to do it later, right? After the takeoff and stuff. So I also like decided to do it later. Okay, so we have the calculations here. Landing distance 7,000. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, according to this one, we almost used the whole runway. Seriously? Okay, so the wind is favorable. Okay, let me see without the anti-ice. It's almost the same. Okay, fine. If they say so. Oh, because this is the dispatch, right? It doesn't take into consideration a lot of those additional factors. Okay, so let's do it again here. Engines. Okay, so we will use auto brakes free. Okay. No credit for the reversers. This is fine. Okay, so actually taking into consideration all of those additional factors, this will be like much shorter. Oof. Okay. So yeah, I remember from reading the manual, this one is for calculations on the ground, right? And this one is like taking into consideration all of those additional factors. Okay, not bad. Let's see what the weather will be. Okay, 1005. Okay, let me take a look at this one. So 200 barrel here. So I think it's the standard setting. Let me just see. Yeah, barrel 200 is the standard setting. And this is supposed... Oh, it's barrel 300. Okay, so we can just set it up. Oh no, please don't tell me I will have to turn it so slowly again. No. Okay, come on. This is so stupid. Seriously? Okay. I'm just waiting for drag required, because it's like the standard Boeing way of doing things. But it's doing all of those calculations, and then in the end it's like calculated wrongly and you still have to use the air brakes. But we will see. But it's supposed to be similar like in the real plane. Okay, so one thing that I'm thinking about is like the performance here. So I think... Okay, so winds request is something that we have missed. Okay, so let's do it now. But this is not what I want. What I want is those like V-speed calculations for the landing. So we will see in a second. Stupid Boeing planes. Okay, so we have it here, right? Okay, so we want this landing, and it's going here. Okay, so this wind correction is the same one that we had on the calculations there. So I think this is fine. Okay, and we have the proposed ILS here. So let me just compare it. 109 and 9 and 240. Okay, so 109 and 9. Okay, 109 and 9. This is the active one, right? Okay. 108 and 9, okay? 108 and 9. 108 and 9, and here the same. 108 and 9. 108 and 9. Okay, and 240. Once again, without acceleration. And come on. Okay. Okay, so here we have the descent profile, and it seems like, okay, steep descent after Escort. So it's just here. We will see. It will be probably like drag required, but I'm used to it. Okay, so this is fine, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Let's see if the legs are okay. So this is a problem with this approach. Let me just show you. And it's always a problem that like all of the planes are having this very sharp turn here that actually goes like on the middle of the glide slope, right, for some reason. And I'm not sure why it's doing it, right? Why is there no proper approach that would like make a more gentle curve? I don't know. We might decide to just use the heading mode, which is pretty much what I'm also tend to use like in other planes here. Yeah, okay. So we are slowly coming close to 10,000. Oops. Okay, so 102.40. So for now, this is interesting. I don't remember like this modern view here. But we will see. I would just assume that it will go live once we will receive like the signal of it. 108 and 9, 108. Yeah, because normally it's like a DME arc. You can see it's pretty shallow, right? But what the navigation systems are doing is this very sharp, well, not even curve here, right? So I guess we will just do our own DME arc, just simplify it a little bit. Okay, so let me see if I remember how it works in flying planes. Okay, like this. Okay, and heading select. And this way we will also have like more time for it. So this is a 12 DME arc, but to what? Oh, to this... to the NDB? Let me just cite... VOR DME TLA. So where's... Oh, okay. Is the TLA one visible here? It might be on the star. In PIP1 Echo. Yeah, TLA is 113.8. And I guess it should recognize those 11... Yeah, so I guess I will use this one. Was it 113.8? So let's try it here. 113.8. Okay, so it is recognizing the VOR. Let's see. Yes, no? Drag required. Sure. There's like a click spot here. Yeah. Typical Boeing. Okay. Yeah, I do, guys. I do realize it's probably like also pilot error, okay? Oh, because it's not the active one, right? So let me just change. Okay, and this is supposed like to be a 12 DME arc. Okay, so we can play around with it. Always fun to fly those. Okay, below 10,000. Let me just see if there's something here. Landing altitude is okay. Let's check recall. I think this is what is meant. Okay, so we will want auto brakes free because this is what was calculated. Landing data verify and minimums. Okay, so the minimums were set up by us. Here we can already provide the barrow reference, which was 1005. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I hope the V-speeds are already set up. They seem to be. Here you can see the flap setting and the V-speed that is set up, so this is nice. Yeah, it was... Yeah, I don't know how this DME arc works. I mean, I was normally flying them, right? But I think we should be much closer than it's still, right? A very sharp turn. Yeah, I was just flying like that. Yeah, but once again, it's not the fault of the plane in any way. The Phoenix was doing exactly the same, right? On this specific approach to this specific airport. And the Starship was also doing the same. Okay, I think we can sweet intervene here. Because we won't be like hitting this decel point here, so we can just do it on our own. So whatever you do, don't use this one. This is like evil, because it will totally prioritize the speed, and as far as I remember, it will not like take into consideration the attitude of the plane. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the flaps. Okay, so we can slightly... Oops, not this one, this one. We can start turning here. Nice and gently, hopefully. Okay, we can get rid of this one. Okay, but we need to arm it. I think it's armed now. Speedback armed. Okay, so this is fine. So then we can use this one and go on ALNAV. Okay. Let's be a little bit slower, but not too slow. And let's proceed with the flaps. Okay, I think you can get rid of engine anti-ice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about those. Because this seems to be like... Oh. Either way. So approach peace. Okay, anything else? Approach checklist, altimeter. I hear something that is sounding like an alarm. Let me just see. Yeah, just use VNAV now. And let's see what it does. Yeah, I mean, it does look promising. Okay, so this pretty much means that it wants the gear. I don't know. I'm not sure if I have even like done it manually like this one in the 737 before, but we will see. VNAV approach, the correct course is used here, 108 and 9. If it doesn't work, we can always do it by hand, but I think it should be fine. Okay, let me see here. So this one we don't need. Okay, 3000 above, we have 3000 above, so this is fine. We can use the terrain radar. Okay, we have the localizer armed, right? We are receiving the DME for it. I don't know why it's crying at me. This seems fine. Okay, single channel, which I think is also fine. Okay. And we are in line with the runway. Yeah, there was just no reason to reduce the speed so much. I just misinterpreted those indications here. Let me just do my own check, because I don't really trust this checklist there. Okay. So we do have the gear out. This is fine, this is fine. I don't know. Looks correct. Boeing stuff. Okay, so we are on the glide slope. I don't think there is a reason to use the full flap setting yet, because we are still 8 miles out. Okay, there's just one thing that I need to do in the settings. Sorry. Because I was flying the 146 and I don't have the reversers mapped because of it. So just a second. Joystick here. This one. Yeah. So I don't want this setting, but I need here toggle reversers. Hold toggle throttle reverse thrust. Was it called like this? Throttle reverse thrust? I don't know. Okay, we will see. I was assuming it was just like toggle reverse thrust.
2500.
Oh, and also in the checklist, it wasn't noted when you are disconnecting auto throttle. So I'm not sure, because it was that you have to, it was like specified that you have to disconnect autopilot 200 feet above ground level, right? But there was nothing, I think, about disconnecting auto throttle, so I will do it like together. Okay, and with this one, we can go to our set flap setting. Some pretty nice scenery here. Okay, so what was the wind speed here? 16 knots. Okay, so 5 knots per 10 knots, I guess. So it would be 133 plus 5, more or less. So let's do it like this. Oh, actually, This one might be even better. Okay.
500.
This is the same thing that the 146 was doing. Like on very short final, it was really oscillating on the localizer. I'm not sure why this is happening. Okay.
300.
Either way.
Approaching minimums. 200.
I continue.
Minimums. 100.
Whoa. It's like pushing me to the side like crazy.
50.
Whoa,
30,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
20, 10. Speed low.
Yeah, I know. It's like a winch here. It's pushing me down like crazy. Okay, click the reversers button. Are they operating? I'm not sure. Okay, so either way, manual braking. What's this? Speed brakes do not armed, but they were armed. Whoa. Okay. Sorry guys, Boeing stuff. Oh no, they are okay. Okay, so they just deployed. Okay, can I vacate here? Seems like I can. So once again, a very detailed airport. Actually, maybe my favorite one. Also because of like how the environment around it is pretty beautiful. Okay. I'll just hold here. Okay, let's do stuff. So we don't need those. Okay, let's keep the taxi light. Let's start the APU. Not sure if this was long enough. Yeah, it was. Okay. So we don't need the strobe light. This is fine, this is fine. Picks are on. This is okay. Okay, and I would just assume that TCAS will turn off by itself, but maybe it won't. So let's just go here. And let's see the checklist. Okay, after landing. Speed brake lever down, is it? Yeah, it was, okay. APUSD that is on. Probe heat switches can go off. So also the window heating. Okay, so we don't want the radar anymore. Loop. Okay, auto brakes off, they are off. Flap lever to 0, it's to 0, and transponder as required. Okay. So we can proceed. Yeah, I'm still kind of sad because this like automatic turnaround procedure was not working. Actually, we might check it. Maybe it's working after you land, if you want to do like another leg. But I don't think so. It's kind of a stretched theory. So we will see. Yeah, I will have to check this reverser binding. Let me just... Okay, let me press it. No, it works. And now I can see reverser here. Okay. And I guess we can use 5. I'll just order something here. Here. 5. Too small. Why is... Okay. For A. Do we want for A? Heavy. Yeah, sure. And no. Cool. I think it's this one. Yeah. I mean, wasn't good, wasn't horrible. I guess. Yeah, but the wind gusts on the like very final were really strong. So maybe this is why the plane was not holding like on the localizer. That's saying it's really strange because it's exactly the same behavior that we have in the 146, which like does seem like a very big coincidence in this case. Okay, so let's not blind this guy. Yeah, going this, oops, just yeah, no, let me just see. Really? Okay, let's move up just a little bit. Okay. Let me make sure we are on APU. Would be really sad to lose all of the electricity here. Okay. Let's also go to APU bleed. Okay. Now we can turn down. Very good parking. Well, thank you, I guess. Okay. Okay, guys, let me just do a nice camera view for you. Just move faster. Okay, this was not planned. But either way, the new 2024 native version of the 737. I'm pretty happy with it. The price is very high, but I did check out the other versions, the passenger version and the cargo version, and there's really like a lot of work being made. So in the end, I would say it depends on how many of the versions you want to fly, because like $30 for an update of just one version that you will fly is really steep, despite the updates being pretty nice, right? But if you want to fly many of them, then it's kind of adding up, right? Because all of them were kind of improved, and all of them have some unique new stuff that was added. In the end, it's your decision. I know that the approach to PMDG is like very different. So, but for me, it's still a very good plane. Pretty much I haven't noticed any problems with it apart from this pushback not working, but I think it was mentioned in the manual. One thing that also sometimes backs out, so just so you know, that if you spawn in the beginning, like in walk around mode on foot, then there might be some objects missing from the plane. So in my case, it's missing landing lights. But once you press Shift C and go inside and then outside, it will be repaired. And PMDG is saying that it's like a 2024 native bug. This might be true because, like, for example, in the 146, the landing lights are also bugged when you spawn in and you have to go to the cockpit and back. But there they don't appear, they are just always on, right? So maybe it could have been fixed, but it just, for me, it's just like a small thing. All in all, I had fun. I hope my like prior flights will be more correct than this one. I thank you for watching, and I see you in future GA flying videos. Thank you, bye bye.